Hello, PJ here, and this is another LeetCode challenge in 30-day LeetCode challenge, PHP level difficulty easy. And today we have a problem called Contains Duplicate II. We've already had Contains Duplicate problem before. Yeah, but this is problem 19th, and let's start the timer and let's look at this problem. What we need to do: given an integer array nums and an integer k, return true if there are two distinct indices I and j in the array such that nums I equals nums j and absolute value I minus j is less or equals than k. Okay, so what we need to do here, we need to try to find two distinct indices I and j that will meet this criteria here. So I think that's clear to do. Here we have some examples for, so here for example this is true because we have 0 and 3 indices. I would be 0 and j would be 3, so absolute value is 3 and k is 3. Here the same, 0 and 2, no actually, oh yeah, 0 and 2, but also which would be false, but also 2 and 3, which would be 1, which is true. And here we have 0 and 3, absolute value is 3, so it's 2, it's false. Okay, so let's have a look how we can solve that problem. So in here, where we're looking for two different indices, we just gonna loop through this array twice. So for I equals 0, I less than count nums I plus plus. If you don't know this sort of pattern, this is very common. We've used it almost in I don't know, probably 60-70% of problems we've used that for loop or any other kind of loop, and this loop will loop through all the elements of this nums array. Very common. Yeah, so it's worth knowing if you don't know this already. And the same, we're gonna loop again. So we want to loop in the loop so we can try to find indices with the same, two different indices with the same value, and that's the way to do it. Okay, and now we have two loops, so now we need to try to find the I and j where the numbers will be equal, but also what we need to do, we need to find two distinct I and j, so it can't be for example 0 and 0 or 1 and 1. It have to be 0 and 1 or 0 2 or whatever. So first criteria is that I need to be different than j, and then nums I equals nums j. Okay, and then we will meet first criteria. If that's the case, nums I equals nums j, and then the second criteria is if ABS, so absolute value I minus j is less or equal k, and in that case we will return true if we find it, and if we don't find it then at the end we just return false. Okay, and that's the way, in my opinion, to solve this. Maybe there's a different way and better way. If you know how to do it, let me know in the comments, but for now let's just try to run this code. Okay, it is accepted. Now for the all examples in this problem. Okay, it is accepted, so let's try to submit it. Okay, so we have a time limit exceeded, so okay, so let's see what we can do about it. So let's try to submit it again and see whether that was just an accident, or we will need to try to find and optimize this code somehow. Let's try to submit it again. Okay, so we have time limit exceeded again, so it looks like it is a solution, but for very long, you see how long that is, so for very long arrays, unusually long I would say, but for some reasons the authors of that problem decided to check us on that sort of long array. It's consuming too much time, so let's see how we can optimize it somehow. Okay, so instead of looping the second time through the entire array again, I think we can also use array keys that will return the keys for that specific value. So for example, if this is 1, it will return all the keys for 1 in this array, and then we will loop through just those keys, and then we will do the same checking again if the key is different, and then if the values are the same, which they should be. But actually we don't need to check this really here, because we're already looking for the same array. So let's simplify this. We're already looking for that value. Yeah, so what we can do just one if statement, so they have to be different, I and j, and the absolute value. Okay, and then we will return true. Okay, that should hopefully take less time and shouldn't be rejected for time limit exceeded. So let's try and submit this. Let's see if that code works first. Okay, that works, and let's try to submit it now. Okay, it is success. So as you can see, it's not always it's sometimes good to look for better and faster solutions. In a real world scenario, I think unlikely we would get that sort of big array that was presented in this example, but you never know, so it's always good to try to optimize the code so it doesn't take so it's better optimized. So yeah, we have a success, faster than 7%, so it's probably still could be optimized a little bit. So if you have any ideas, let me know in the comments. Other than this, yeah, it took us about 50 minutes to solve this, and yeah, that was Contains Duplicate II PHP easy challenge. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next challenge. Thank you, bye bye.